One of the viewers was a little confused about what version of QEMU I was using. As you know, we're using the x86 64 version, but those that are in it for the long haul, in the early videos may recall that I went through great pains to create an alternate version so that I have I can call QEMU using shorter commands, QEMU, my B tab, and boom, it launches, right? So then I went ahead and threw that into the long path, so it would fit on the screen. However, if anybody came in the middle and was directed here by some other YouTube algorithm and didn't, see that part, it's probably just as easy for me to go back to the long path like that. Let me save that. And then when I do these, then any Johnny-come-latelys, can figure out how I was able to do it all with a single click, right? But you and I already know that. In retrospect, of course, I went into administrator mode, and in order to create a duplicate version of the application. In retrospect, I could have just probably made a shortcut. You still have to be in administrator mode to do that because you're in one of the application folders or what have you. But that would have saved me a few bytes, But either way, there. Oh, another interesting thing. I closed this window, didn't I? Let me go back here to test and there. I'm in assembly here. I'm going to recommend. You might want to grab a couple of books on assembly, invaluable resources. One of the viewers was kind enough to recommend one, which kind of led me on an alternate path of discovery here, which I'll share in a moment. What I'm going to do, create a folder here to store some books in. I'm in the assembly folder, yeah, there. So that won't conflict with my B tab because BI comes before BO. Good. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to grab a couple books. Somebody recommended the 8386 Programmer's Reference Manual for basically it tells you everything that's in your hardware. And so I downloaded that, which was handy. But right away I noticed it was referring to getting into extended mode and protected mode, and I realized, well, this is targeted more for people with a 32-bit or 64-bit computer, and we're working in 16-bit. Right. This is handy. You could get that if you wanted to. But then I was like, okay, well, what if I went before 1986? And in a roundabout way, I found the earlier version, the 286 Programmer's Reference Manual, which is all written. It's actually the exact same language. The books are more or less identical, but this one is written in 16-bit. And ironically, the 286 book was written a year later than the 386 one for some strange reason, I think. But this is all in 16-bit. So I recommend here at this address, you can click the download here, right? And I'm going to put that in the books folder that we just made. Now, and then the other one is this one, IBM PS2 and PC BIOS interface. Interesting, the hardware, the chip in the PS2 and the PC, same thing. So this one book will tell you how to access the processor in either one in assembly, right? Or not assembly. We'll talk about that. So yeah, grab this one too. Let's see, this is downloads down here. Here on PDF, you want to right-click, save link as. There. And we want to find our books folder and save that in there as well. So very handy references that you pretty much you turn to from time to time. Now, the thing about these technical manuals, is they are extremely useless, unless you know how to read them. Everything is written in a certain kind of like pseudo code. Let me just open one up, I guess, now that I've gone through the trouble to download them. Go up in my books folder there. Okay, here. Hang on. This is a PDF. I'm just going to. Oh, so yeah. We'll do it this way. In the future, I guess. As I explained before, anybody that comes in who hasn't watched the video and downloaded the book into the archive as we have for offline viewing, I'll continue referencing them using the online address so that people can just go, oh, I can find the book here, right? So, but that it's in there for you, right? So I could just drag that onto my browser and launch the PDF that way, but we're already here on the online version. So let's go to this one, 286. I'm going to go down to where they start having some pseudocode examples. And like any, computer course, it's a lot of pictures of boxes, and abstract terminology. Let's see. Where do we actually get to it? Here, I think this is, okay. So these are a little confusing to read at first. Let me see if I can find something that we have done, that you're familiar with. Strings, no, we haven't gotten to that yet. Basic instructions, jump, and all that. There, okay, we're familiar with all those. Hang on. Loop, conditional, call. I know we know all this. Here we go, jump. Jump instruction. Here, this is their idea of an example. See, it says jump near new code, right? Jump SI, jump abstract terms, right? And you're looking at that and going, well, why can't you just show me the code, right? That would make it a lot easier on me. Well, because these guys are the hardware manufacturers. They're primarily concerned with moving numbers in and out, and they don't know what software you're going to be using, what assembler is going to convert your code into the numbers that their hardware understands, right? So they kind of use these more abstract terms to describe the same thing, and then once you learn to convert what's in here to actual code, then you can start making a little headway. Okay, so we'll cover how to pick some things out of these manuals and actually make sense out of them. So I got the IBM PC and PS2 reference manual, and flip through there. You got your table of contents, very useful. Oh, video stuff. I need to learn a little more. I'm looking for some answer, Okay, let's go to there. What do you know? Nailed it. Page 22. Your video interrupts and all that. Nifty. Oh, yeah, there's a full list and and some technical data. Type, size of the screen, how many, what it can support, which different models of computer throughout history could support what. Set the cursor. Oh yeah, so other stuff that I'll need to make an entire tutorial on. When you're in text mode and you want to move the cursor around and scroll up and down in the page. Read, write, set the color we've covered. Still a lot more to learn, but and wait a minute. Dot. What is a dot? Right? Right dot. Oh, okay. What does this say? AH. OCH. Set the DX to the row number, CX column number, AL to the color value. Well, why don't we just give that a try real quick here. I'm going to open up a new document here. We'll go move AX. I'm going to say I'm in hex OC OF. Let me just run that. Oh, books. What? Oh, I see. Let me not make a dir. I need to grab my new elongated path here and see what happens. Not a thing. Why not? We move AX. So I gotta tell it to do it. I loaded something but didn't tell it to do it. Let's have a look. Okay, let me put this. There's this pixel down here, and the pixel will be in a random location depending on various scenarios. Okay. Okay. So then let's see, what else did the manual say? Well, I know what it says, so I don't have to go pretend. But what I gleaned from that is next, if I move DX, hang on, I'm gonna do it in this order. Move CX, let's say 4. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay, it takes the pixel that's in a random position and moves it 4 spaces to the right. Okay, interesting. Then we go, let me just turn this one off for a second. What if we go move DX4? Save that. 4 places from the top, but observe it, it's no longer in a random location. It's exactly 4 places down in Y. Okay. So this is telling me then, since, as you know, we've done the converting screen coordinates to X and Y coordinates, that whatever I put in here gets multiplied by the screen width and gives me the final result. So then therefore, let's say, when I add this value in, it will be just as if we are adding in X after doing the multiplication in Y. Well, look at that. It's at 4, 4. See? Well, that's a huge time saver. You know, what can I say? This is an answer I've looked for decades, really. I knew there had to be a simpler answer out there, of course, you know. So there you go. That kind of changes the course of what we've done a little bit up to this point, but we can quickly begin converting from where we left off using this new simplified pixel method now, right? So in Here, of course, I took the shortcut in the manual. It's OCH. OCH. I'm just going to put that right up there. OCH. Draw pixel. Right, and then so what I did here in the form of a shortcut, I wrote both OC into the higher that says to the processor to write a dot, and then I put the in hex the color value, which by the way is much more than than F. I could put 3F here, and hang on. I got my color. Let me just put 1F here. And it's still white. Why is that? Color value. Oh, see, classic. Okay, watch. Let me just copy that. Say, let me go undo all that and save this as read only. We haven't made this yet. We're about to. There. Save that. See, that's why you set them to read only. You see, the moment I would have tried to make a change to that, it would say, and then I'd go, oh, I should have been in test. There, okay, there's my white pixel, and I am now going to change this to a 3. And I get a mauve kind of pixel. So that tells me this value is 256 color. You know, I don't get a white pixel with a weird background color. It changes the entire thing. So I have 256 colors there in this value. You know, so yeah, you could break it down this way. Do AH dot color value separately. Yeah, which we'll probably do when we start working with variables, you know, or just for a quick down and dirty. It's pretty easy to, you know, these are in hex, so working this way is the same as working 03 this way, right? Oh, I'm sorry. This should have been, yeah, like that. Working this way is the same as working that way, right? So, yeah, that's amazing. I found yet another shortcut that takes a little bit of time off of how long it takes us to do very simple things. I wish I'd have known about this decades ago. So once again, for a quick recap here, I have both examples open side by side. There's what the manual says in its sort of pseudocode. You know, it doesn't show you an assembly example. We have to figure out what flavor of assembly we're using, or you write it in there manually some other way. Okay, there, AH equals OCH, okay, there, we did that, right? And then put some values in there, they don't tell you. So there, we did AH, and then it says down here, AL, which of course I'm doing AHAL, so you can go ahead and put it in order, A, C, D, B is not used here. Here they say do the D first, set the Y first, which is logical, right? Because if you know, it calculates the Y first, as we just saw. You know, it calculates the Y, whatever you put in here times the screen width for the final, right? So it actually does it in this order, you know, but it doesn't matter what order you put them in there. The processor is doing that, right? there. So I put them back in logical order for readability, So there you can kind of compare actual code to textbook manual pseudocode, right? And then once you've done that a few times, translate this gobbledygook into something that actually runs, these manuals start becoming much more useful.